Morning, it's Tuesday the 2nd of July. I allowed myself a little lie-in this morning. Got up at 6 o'clock instead of 5 o'clock. So yeah, it's just after 7 now, having just left the anchorage. See behind there. Had a bit of difficulty getting the anchor back up. So I had to motor forward to dig the anchor out, which isn't too clever, but there we are. It came out and we're underway. I'm actually sailing again. I've got 6 knots. I think you can see that okay, with just the genoa, which is brilliant. So hopefully that will continue for a few hours. It's lovely to actually sail. The mainsail, it's just so much faffing, and there'll be too much wind for both sails full, so it would be a reefed main. So I'm not even bothering with the main. I've got 6 knots with the genoa. That's good enough for me. Yeah, we have an estimated arrival time into Gosport at the moment. That'll get later, I think. At the moment of just after 4 o'clock. I don't want to get to Gosport before about 5 o'clock, because the tide will be leaving Gosport and Portsmouth up until about that time, and it leaves Portsmouth Harbour at a rate of knots. So I don't want to be arriving until it's low water. So we are. Right, another. This is probably way too windy. Wind noise. Might be a bit too much to hear this, but yeah, we're only another half an hour in, and we're doing a 6.7. Absolutely bonkers. 6.7 knots. ETA into Gosport is now 20 past 3. I don't think that's going to happen, but yeah. We are absolutely flying. Excellent. I mean, the boats, even with just the rig foresail up, is well balanced enough, because the tiller pilot is pretty much just keeping the tiller on the centre line, so it's not upsetting the balance of the boat much, for the fact that I've only got the head sail up and no mainsail, which is good, because single-handed it's a lot of work. Sorting out the mainsail, sorting out the head sail, reefing the mainsail, and if you just got the head sail and you've got this sort of speed, I mean, just go with it, because you can reef the head sail very easily, put a few turns in, you can depower it very easily and very quickly by just easing the sheet. So with this sort of strength of wind, just makes sense to just stick with the genoa. Right, might make a cup of tea now, things have settled a bit. See the, I don't know whether the lens is a bit, what's it on this, but regularly seeing over 7 knots now on the speed over ground on the chart plotter. We are going with the tide, so that's cheating a little bit. But yeah, we're regularly seeing over 7 now on the old plotter. So yeah, the ETA at the moment is before 3 o'clock, or just around 3 o'clock. But first half of the journey hopefully will be a bit more of this. The second half of the journey we're going to be going against the tide, and the wind is easing. Wind's easing quite a lot throughout the day, so yeah, there won't be much wind, and we'll be going against the tide, so we'll be probably struggling to keep sort of, well, we'll be doing about 4 knots, I would imagine, for the second half of the day. So I think it probably is going to be around sort of 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock this evening when we reach Gosport. But yeah, at the moment, fantastic. Right, we're about 3 hours in now. Things have calmed down somewhat. Yeah, the wind has dropped, I think probably to around 10 knots or something like that now. And we've made a sort of a big turn to the left, sort of towards Swanage, and between Swanage and the Isle of Wight now. I can see the Isle of Wight, which is nice. It wouldn't show up on the camera, so I won't bother. I saw up to 8.3 knots on the chart plotter, speed over ground. And it all got, if I'm honest, quite exciting, but a little bit scary as well. So I'd sort of was thinking in my mind, if things got sort of worse, i.e. if the wind became stronger, what my tactics could be. I mean, the main thing that you do is ease the sail and bear off the wind, because I was sailing pretty close to the wind. Hence the famous saying, sailing close to the wind. But yeah, things have calmed down an awful lot since then. I think the wind is due to drop further, so we'll end up motoring at some point, I'm sure. But yeah, I can actually go down and make a cup of tea now, which I think is what I'll do next. Lovely sunny day again as well, which and I haven't showed you any of the coastline yet either. The coastline's beautiful. The other thing that I would mention is I had to alter course for a bloody great motorboat that was coming towards me. We were on a collision course. I'm pretty sure he would have passed in front of me, but it was a close thing, and I thought, well, if he's not paying attention, if he's just put the autopilot on and he's off and running and making a cup of tea or whatever, and there's nobody on watch, I'm going to alter course just in case, just to be safe. So if any motorboaters happen to watch this, please be considerate of sailboats. They're not very manoeuvrable, and you are. So there we are, yeah, rant over. Now I'm going to make a cup of tea. So just coming up to 1 o'clock now, Tuesday the 2nd of July. Just about an hour away from the entrance to the Solent now. So yeah, after a hairy few hours this morning. We are now within sight of, that's the Isle of Wight over there. Not going through the Needles Channel. Basically the tide's running against me, so that might not be too clever, and I've never been there before, so there's another channel to the north that you can take. I was looking at the chart plotter and somehow managed to delete the route that I'd put in from here to Gosport Marina, so I've had to put that back in again, which is a bit of a hassle. Not what you need, but at least I'm an hour away and not 5 minutes away. So yeah, that's good. I'm glad it's really quite calm and clear day actually, because Solent is very busy, Portsmouth Harbour is very busy, so yeah. Back in shorts and a t-shirt. Lashings of sun cream. It's 4 o'clock now. I have entered the Solent, and look at it. It really is like a mill pond. Ever so busy. Well, it's busy, ever so busy compared to what I'm used to. You've got to keep an eye all the time, keep an eye for traffic here now. I had a real battle to get in through. That's the entrance that you can see back there, the entrance to the Solent, and when you're doing 12-hour shifts, which Sunday was 12-13 hours, yesterday was 12 or 13 hours, today's the same. There's no way that you can plan. You're going to have roughly half and half tide with you and tide against you, and I think the tide must have been at or about peak flow when I came in through the entrance to the Solent, and I'm really glad I didn't take the Needles Channel, because it flows even faster through there, I believe, because yeah, at one point I was down to 0.7 of a knot, and that's with the engine at full throttle. So yeah, so we've gone from one extreme to the other today, 8.3 knots to 0.7 of a knot. So 8.3, and we had about 2.5 hours of each as well actually. 2.5 hours of roughly about 1 knot average. 2.5 hours of between 7 and 8 knots. So let's average it out then. 8.3 plus 0.7 is 9 divided by 2, so that's 4.5 knots, so I guess I can live with that. So we're at the moment, we will pick up some more speed, but at the moment the ETA is 8 PM this evening. Yeah. Oh, and another motorboat. Why are they so... I'm not going to swear because this is going to end up on YouTube, but there was another big boat, big motorboat, I'd say something like 45 feet. Two people on board, probably a couple, both on the top deck. She was steering the boat and looking intently down at the controls, and he was obviously explaining things to her and also looking down intently at the controls, and they must have passed. I didn't need to alter course, to be fair, I didn't need to alter course, but they passed within, I'd say, about 70 or 80 feet. Now, if they'd have had any consideration or any awareness, they'd have seen from a reasonable distance, oh look, a little sailing boat, they're not very fast. Let's give him a wide berth, let's do him a favour and not have a massive wash following after us and causing him trouble. So the only thing that I could do as soon as they'd passed was turn through 90 degrees, take the wash head on, and if I hadn't have done that, I'd have been on my side. Horrendous people, horrendous boats. Rant number 2 over. Very quick one then. This will be the last one until after I've got in the marina. Blimey, he's cutting it a bit close, look. I thought I would. Sure, he had it under control all the time. Obviously, you don't mess with these larger craft, shall we say. It's about 1 more hour to go now until Gosport, so just start having to concentrate a bit more to make sure I don't hit anything or anything hits me or whatever. Oh, and the speed's gone back up to 6.6 knots now, the tide's with us again. I've actually got the engine on full revs, and we're doing 6.6 knots. And here we are tucked up in the marina. Nice evening, and no dramas coming in to Portsmouth Harbour. It's actually quite easy, really. It's there's a small boat channel. There's a small boat channel on the port side. You just follow that, and you basically just stick right into the left. And if there's any small boats coming towards you, give them room to pass you on your port side, and watch out for big ships. There's not much more to it than that. It's I'm not wishing to make it sound as though you haven't got to be careful or anything like that, because you've got to be extremely careful, but it's nothing to be frightened of. I have come in here at night though, and it's a completely different ball game if you come in here at night. I was following somebody in, and frankly, if I hadn't have been following somebody in, I'd have lost the plot completely, I think. So it's a completely, utterly different ball game at night. But yeah, if you're arriving in the daytime and you've done your reading, then it's fine, it's no problem at all. So Brighton probably tomorrow, unless I'm so tired when I get up. I decide to stay here for another day. So Brighton either tomorrow or Wednesday anyway. Or is tomorrow Wednesday? Yeah, tomorrow is Wednesday. So Brighton either tomorrow or Thursday. That shows you how tired I am.